This is my largest Trak module to date. We're doing a Trak triple. Hey, alliteration. Let's get into it. This video is brought to you with support from Klawndykes. Klawndykes is a family-owned business that makes in-scale Trak modules, mini diorama kits, and in-scale display stands right here in the US. You've seen me feature many of their modules right here on this channel, and I am so proud to have them as a partner on this channel. Check them out at the link in the description. What I just showed you is my new module for my next layout. It is a Trak triple module from Klawndykes. I put a link in the description to that. I am building my first industry for this layout as well. This module represents an industrial area east of Elkin, North Carolina, where several industries are present. Now, I have already attached the Trak using a Trak gauge and wired it for those Trak-powered signals that I showed you guys a little while back. I'll link that video at the end of this video. We start by painting the module a brown color. For this, I'm using just some basic standard acrylic paint that you can find in most craft sections. I'm okay with getting a little bit of paint on the Unitrak, but if you're not, you can just tape the Trak off. Just be careful of those turnout controls. Once that is done, I need to do the asphalt for the parking area and industry. To do this, I'm going to be painting a sheet of thin styrene, just like this one. And here is a little tip for buying cheap thin styrene like this. Buy for sale signs. They're cheap and they work just as well. Plus, you can buy singles rather than packs like this at places like Walmart. Okay, that was a little dumb. Let's just move on. In order to get the right size piece, I bring the piece in and mark the points where I need to cut so that I can fit it like a puzzle piece next to the Trak and be flush against the back of the module as well. I'm using a rolling cutter to make these cuts, but you can use anything that can make a good cut, like a utility knife or a hobby knife. If you are a kid by chance, then make sure you just ask for your parents' permission and have them help you because you can cut yourself pretty easy. I've done that. Once this is done, it's time to paint the asphalt. Now, one thing I see a lot of people do is paint a road straight black, and this is totally fine if you don't care too much, but if you want some more accurate colors to real life, you can use this simple spray paint technique. Now, I kind of made a goof when I was recording this. I wasn't rolling when I painted the road surface. I did what is known in the industry as a double punch, where I accidentally hit the record button twice. So I'm going to demonstrate on this scrap section of the same sheet. I start with some gray. I'm using some Krylon Shortcuts matte gray for the base, and once I have everything gray, I can come back with flat black spray paint, more of those Krylon Shortcuts, and do these short little bursts and move in quick motions around the surface. I go until I feel it looks right. I'm going for kind of like a some places are more worn than other type look. Now that I have painted the road surface, I can glue it in place just using some simple white glue. Once that is done, I can do some ballasting. Kato is a unique product to ballast. There is Kato Unitrak ballast which matches the plastic, but I just tend to use Woodland Scenic's medium gray ballast, and it works pretty well after some blending. I do my usual of white glue on the Trak, then adding ballast, brushing it in place, and then soaking it with IPA, and then my homemade scenic cement. While that is drying, I can start applying more scenery. The first thing I'm going to do is just at the beginning of a hill at the opposite side. For this, I'm going to be using some of that terracotta modeling clay from Crayola. This is just something I wanted to try. This is the same stuff that I used on those Kato mini dioramas. I'm actually going to try to scenic this stuff before it dries, just to see if it'll work. Also, so I can stick some of those Woodland Scenics forest canopy trees in it. So first I apply white glue to grab the scenic material, and then I can apply a blended earth scenic mix. Now this one is from JTT Scenery because I did a lot of stock up for this project from Hobby Lobby, but you can use the Woodland Scenics products or Scenic Express, whatever you like. Then I can use some of the various green scenic mixes to mix over the earth blend. I go dark, then light. And then once this is done, I can apply some IPA and scenic cement and then start making and placing the Woodland Scenics forest canopy trees. Now I have done this in the past 2 modules, and I'm trying to keep a consistent look so it looks good throughout the project. So I'm going to link the module that I did a ton of these in at the end of this video. Now in order for these trees to stand up, I do have to use some clips to hold them in place while they dry. So I did a few large anchor trees, and then I started placing smaller pre-made trees around the edges of the wooded corner. And as those trees dry, I remove the clips and add more and more scenery. Now I need to blend the sidings and the road surface, and I'm doing this by starting with some Woodland Scenics dirt, and I use this at various spots. I blend these with different materials, and I use some of this tan ballast to act as an edge for the road surface as it transitions to the dirt. There is a lot of rinse and repeat all over the layout for doing this scenery. Next up, I really needed to weather and blend the track. So what I needed to do was do what I did for the last few sections, but I wanted to try a different product. And this is because I was walking around Hobby Lobby in those couple of aisles where we get all our scenic materials if we need to go grab something quick. And I saw this. This is a Hobby Lobby braided weathering set. There was actually a couple of different ones, and I bought this one. And this one has snow, soot, and rust in it, and it's about $5. And when you open it up, it has 3 different things in it. I've already been using it heavily. And then it has a little brush. First of all, the brush for this particular thing did not work that well. I ended up just using a regular brush like this. But you just kind of ground it in like that, and you'll have something that kind of goes everywhere, so you'll just probably end up sweeping it off. But I just do like that, and then I just mix it on there and start weathering away with the track. Now one thing I did need to do, because I'm trying to blend the areas where the modules come together, is I need to make a bush line that's going to match the bushes on the adjacent module it will be attached to. The last thing I need to do is add some underbrush and shrubbery all around the natural area. I do this randomly, and then I coat it with IPA and scenic cement. Now, this module is going to use buildings that I still have on my current layout, so I'm not quite ready to tear this down, and I can't put them on the layout permanently. But I can arrange them in a way so that they can be on the module so you can see what it's going to look like when I permanently install them. Here you go. We're officially halfway on phase 1 of the new layout. Now, I'm going to detail that whole scene around the little industry in one of those new mini project videos on coffee and trains in one of the next few months. Now, the next module is going to be the other end cap module in phase 1, and I promise that is going to be unlike anything you've seen me try before. It's going to be really, really cool. Check out some of these model railroad businesses. Trains in the Valley. Trains in the Valley is a model train shop located in Pennsylvania. They sell new and used model trains with a mission to make trains accessible to everyone. You can check them out at trainsinthevalley.com, link in the description. Penguin 3D Workshop offers 3D prints and electronics for model railroading, specializing in hard or impossible to find train parts, and they also offer custom designing and printing. I built 3 modules so far for phase 1, and I've got 3 to go, so you're definitely going to want to subscribe so that you can see me build the rest of those, and then move on to phase 2, and then there's probably going to be a phase 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, I just like building modules. So you're going to see that, plus I got a bunch of other projects coming up, so make sure you are subscribed and ready for that. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.